Unit 8A Study Guide, numbers 18, 19, and 20. A rectangle has a length 20 feet more than its width. The area of the rectangle is 96 square feet. Write an equation and solve to find the dimensions of the rectangle. So it talks about, compares the length to the width. So let's call the width W. And then the length is 20 more than the width. So then we can add 20 onto the width to get the length. Now remember, area is length times width. So we can write an equation that says W times W plus 20, which represents our length and our width, equals 96. Now to solve this, let's distribute our W and then subtract the 96 because we want to have this quadratic set equal to 0. We've got three terms, so we're going to do our star factoring. Our A value is 1, B is 20, and C is negative 96. So we want two numbers that will multiply to give us negative 96 and combine to give us 20. Our A values are 1. Our variable is W. Alright, so we need factors of 96. So 4 times 24 is 96. If I make the 4 negative, when I multiply I get negative 96, and when I add those I get positive 20. So that factor pair will work, and then those are our factors. So I'll write them in the parentheses. Set that equal to 0. Now set them both equal to 0. When you're solving a real-life quadratic problem, usually one answer will make sense and one answer won't. So the answer that makes sense is the one that we use. So you can see that this says width equals 4, and that would be feet, and width equals negative 24. Well, we know that length measurements can't be negative, so we've got to go with the positive 4. So our width is 4, and then to find the length we want to add 20. So 4 plus 20 will be 24. 4 times 24 is 96, so that works for us. Now let's look at number 19. We want to factor and find the solutions for 6x squared plus 8x plus 2. So we've got three terms. Let's identify A, B, draw your star. Two numbers that will multiply to give you A times C, which is 12, combine to give you B, which is 8, and then our A values are 6 and 6. Now I'm going to stop because I realize, excuse me, that we've got a greatest common factor that we can factor out first. So I can divide out a 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I'm going to change my values here. So my A value now is 3. My B value is 4. And my C value is 1. So A times C is 3. My B is 4, and my A value here is 3 and 3, and then a single x. So two numbers that will multiply to give me 3 and add to give me 4, well, that's got to be 1 and 3. Now before we write our factors, I look and see if I can simplify 3 over 1 or 3 over 3. I can simplify this, and so I'm going to bring down my 2 because that's one of my factors, and then I'll write 3x plus 1, that's a second factor, and x plus 1. That's my third factor. To solve, first thing we can do is divide both sides by 2. Since the 2 is multiplying, we can divide it. And now we'll just do as before. We'll set both of these equal to 0 and solve both of those equations. So I'm running out of space, so I'm going to subtract my 1 and divide by 3 all in one step. So there's my subtracting 1, dividing by 3. So there's my first answer. Then I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and there's my second. So now we have factored completely and found solutions. And then number 20. Let's factor and find the solutions of 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. So let's identify A, B, and C and draw our star to organize our factoring. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18, and B value is negative 7. So let's place our A values in a single variable. Now we need two numbers that'll multiply to give us negative 18 and combine to give us 7. So I know one factor pair is 2 and 9. I need to make one of these negative. So if I make the 9 negative, when I multiply I get negative 18, and when I add I get negative 7. Now on the left I want to divide 6 over 2 like a fraction, so that would be 3 over 1. And these I can divide both by 3, so I'll get 2 and negative 3. So my factors are 3x plus 1 times 2x minus 3 equals 0. Set them both equal to 0. Subtract 1 and then divide by 3. And so our first answer is x equals negative 1/3. Then I'm going to add 3. Whoops, I don't need that second equal sign. So 2x equals 3. Divide by 2. X equals 3 halves.